Welcome back. Today's story is called Lewis and Clark. Our learning objectives for today are to review events leading up to the Louisiana Purchase, explain the reasons that Lewis and Clark went on their expedition, demonstrate an understanding of the words brave and route, and then draw a map of your route to school and write about things that you see on your route to school. Our key vocabulary today is just one word, and it is brave. Brave is an adjective, and it means showing courage and not afraid to do something, even if it may be dangerous or frightening. The boy was brave when he rode a bike without training wheels for the first time. So these were the 13 colonies that we learned about, okay? Well, we also learned that America grew in size from the 13 colonies to a much larger country. Okay, so after the first 13 colonies, they expanded to the Mississippi River, and then they ended up purchasing what? The Louisiana Territory, which was the land east of the Mississippi River and west of the Rocky Mountains, which doubled our country's size. Who was Daniel Boone? He was the man who built the Wilderness Road, okay? And how were the Native Americans affected by the settlers moving west? So what happened to the Native Americans when the Americans, or I guess they're not colonists anymore, when the Americans started moving? The Native Americans had to move west. Who is Thomas Jefferson, and what role did he play in increasing the size of the United States? So who was he in our last story? He was our president at that time. And what did he do that made the size of the United States grow? He bought the Louisiana Territory, okay, which doubled the size of the United States. On this map, where's the Mississippi River? Right here. Okay. What about the Rocky Mountains? Right here. And what was the land in between the Rocky Mountains and the Mississippi River called? The Louisiana Territory. How did we get the Louisiana Territory? What happened so that we were able to own that land? Thomas Jefferson sent James Monroe to go talk to Napoleon about buying New Orleans. And when James Monroe asked about buying New Orleans, Napoleon said, I have a better idea. Why don't you buy all of the land from the French, and that will give me enough money for my soldiers and supplies to fight the war. Okay. And then James Monroe had to write a letter and then get a letter back from Thomas Jefferson saying that he was going to buy the land, right? So not many people in the U.S. knew what was in the Louisiana Territory, just like not many people knew much about the land between the Appalachian Mountains and the Mississippi River before Daniel Boone went exploring there. Remember our key vocabulary, we've got brave. Today, I want you to listen carefully to find out who will explore the Louisiana Territory and I want you to find out what their tasks or their mission was like. Okay, so let's get started. We learned last time about the Louisiana Purchase when the United States government purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. Once the purchase of the Louisiana Territory was complete, President Thomas Jefferson wanted to send explorers to make maps of the new land and learn more about it. So Thomas Jefferson had just bought all this land, but nobody really knew what was in that land. So he wanted to send some people to explore it and make maps about it. Thinking about the Louisiana Territory, Jefferson wondered, Is it possible that there are tigers or elephants living out there in those unexplored western lands? No one has explored enough to really know. Perhaps there are plants whose leaves could be used as medicines to help sick people, or would be delicious to eat. My Native American friends who live there have brought me a few plants to study, but I am sure there must be more plants and animals which even they have not seen. Sorry, guys, I don't know where that noise is coming from. Hang on. Let's pause my video. All right, I'm back. Jefferson prepared to send explorers to the Louisiana Territory. I need the leader of these explorers to be someone I can trust, someone very brave and very smart. There we go. President Jefferson suddenly smiled. Why, I know just the person for the job. He sat down and wrote a letter to his former assistant or helper, a man by the name of Meriwether Lewis. Jefferson asked Meriwether Lewis if he would lead the team of explorers. So, right here, this is the path that the explorers are going to take. That's the planned path. Okay. Jefferson had 3 reasons for wanting Lewis to explore the Louisiana Territory. Jefferson wrote to Lewis, first, I want you to find out if there is an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean. So he wants to know if there is a river or some way that they can travel from the Mississippi River all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Okay, that's the first thing that he wants to know. And he's telling them to travel the Missouri River, which branches out to the west from the Mississippi River. So here's our Mississippi River, here's the Missouri River. So Thomas Jefferson wants them to take the Missouri River and see if it's going to go all the way out to the Pacific Ocean. Okay? The 2 big rivers meet at St. Louis. So they're going to start their trip along the Missouri from there. So they are going to start in the Mississippi River to go to the Missouri River, and they meet in St. Louis. Okay? Perhaps the Missouri River flows all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Or if it does not, maybe it connects to other rivers that do reach the Pacific Ocean. You can find out for us. Second, you can collect samples of plants and animals so that we will know what grows well in the lands we had just added to our nation. So the second thing is he wants to know about the plants and animals in the land that they just bought. Third, you must also become friends with the Native Americans you meet. You will want to bring along presents for them so that they know you come to offer peace. Okay, so that was the third reason. So what were all 3 reasons? To find out if there was an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean, to explore the plants and animals in the land that they just bought, and to become friends with the Native Americans. When Meriwether Lewis received the president's letter, he was very excited. However, he was a thoughtful man. He wrote back, I am very honored that you have asked me to do this, Mr. President, and I will do my very best for you and for our nation. With your permission, however, I will ask a friend of mine, William Clark, to help me with these tasks. This is a picture of, a drawing of William Clark, who is Meriwether Lewis's friend. William Clark and I became great friends when we served together in the Army. He and I work well together. Clark is very good at drawing maps, identifying plants and animals, and he has lots of experience with Native Americans. I would feel much more certain that we could do the things you ask if William Clark could accompany me as my co-captain. Okay, so a co-captain is somebody who helps lead. What do you think that Thomas Jefferson's going to say? Do you think he'll let him help? Thomas Jefferson agreed. As Lewis and Clark prepared to start on their journey, they did not know that the dangers and wonders they were about to face together would make their friendship even stronger. What kind of dangers do you think they're going to face? Well, you're going to have to wait until next time to find out. Let's do our questions, okay? Can you point to the Louisiana Territory on our map? It is all of the green area from the east of the Mississippi River, the west of the Mississippi River, east of the Rocky Mountains, okay? Why did Thomas Jefferson want someone to explore the Louisiana Territory? To learn more about it. And who's going to explore the Louisiana Territory for him? Lewis and Clark. What were the 3 things that Thomas Jefferson wanted Lewis to do on his trip? Find an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean, explore the plants and animals in that territory, and become friends with the Native Americans. Why are these 3 tasks important to the United States? Because they're going to help build the new United States. Okay. In the read aloud, you heard Jefferson say, "I need the leader of these explorers to be someone I can trust, someone very brave and very smart." Can you say the word brave for me? Brave. Can you say it in a whisper voice? Brave. Okay. When someone is brave, it means that he or she shows courage and is not afraid to do something, even if it may be dangerous or frightening. Tanya was brave when she decided to learn to swim, even though she was afraid of water. When is a time that you've been brave? Can you use the word brave to tell me about it? Very cool. Okay, in today's read aloud, you also heard, first, I want you to find out if there is an all-water route to the Pacific Ocean. I want you to say the word route. Route. Can you clap it out? Route. Okay. A route is a way to get from one place to another. One of Jefferson's tasks for Lewis and Clark was to find an all-water route or an all-water way to get from the Louisiana Territory to the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so they wanted to know, is there a way to go only by water, not by land, from the Mississippi River all the way to the Pacific Ocean? Okay. All right, did we hit our learning objectives? Did we talk about the events leading up to the Louisiana Purchase? Did we talk about why Lewis and Clark are going to go on their expedition? Yes, we did. Did we demonstrate an understanding of the words brave and route? Yeah. Okay. And then as your activity, you were going to draw a map of your route to school and write about different things that you see on your route to school. So if I were going to talk about my route to school, I would say that I pass a gas station and I go under a bridge and I see a house with a trampoline. Okay, those are some things that I see on my route to school, and you're going to do the same thing. I'll see you next time, and we're going to find out what kind of dangers and wonders Lewis and Clark find. Bye.